Hello and welcome to this week's crypto update. So what's been happening in the macro world and indeed in the crypto news? So first and foremost, of course, President Trump has now been inaugurated and there has been a huge storm right around that within the crypto space. We've had the Trump coin, the Melina coin, and of course we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit an all-time high once more the night before the inauguration. We have, as I say, Trump came out with his own meme coin on very late Friday night, early Saturday morning. Within the space of 12 hours it was worth about 12 billion. Fully diluted value hit about 60 odd billion, so put it in the top sort of 6 or 7 coins, all in the space of about 24 hours. Really credible and nuts stuff. You couldn't have thought it could get any more nuts. Well, then his wife Melina's coin came out, took quite a bit of liquidity out of his and pumped her coin. Since then the Trump coin has continued to do well, and who knows where it goes from here. Well, there's more news on that in a second, but back to the standard news that we have every week. MicroStrategy once more has bought more Bitcoin, this time 11,000 Bitcoin for 1.1 billion. MicroStrategy has acquired an extra 11,000 Bitcoin for approximately 1.1 billion at an average price of 101,000 per Bitcoin. It's just really nut stuff. They now have a current value of 48 billion in Bitcoin. On top of that, shareholders have voted to increase total numbers of shares. What this means is they can now, put out far more shares, bring in more money and buy more Bitcoin. It's just an absolutely incredible situation. More and more companies out there are starting to announce that they too now want to follow this type of strategy in their company. On top of that, we see Larry Fink has come out and said that sovereign wealth funds are considering allocating 2 to 5% of their wealth into Bitcoin. With this, he believes Bitcoin could hit 700,000 with just this alone. On top of that, we've seen that there are 7 new ETF filings made just yesterday alone, 3 of which came out of left field, as they say. There's Doge, Bonk, and of course Trump. So now we've got meme coins that are potentially become ETFs. It truly is just a mad world at the moment. What else? We've got the Trump-owned World Liberty Financial DeFi platform continuing to buy more ETH. The World Liberty token wallet continues to grow, holding up to $186 million of Ethereum. And it says here 20 minutes ago they bought $5 million more. They are also buying other cryptocurrencies, including wrapped Bitcoin and so on. So it's incredible again. I mean, there couldn't be more positive news around the crypto space at the moment. We see here Trump pardoned Ross Ulbricht. Big story around him. If you know who he is, fair enough. If you don't worry about it. But the point here is he promised he would do that in day one. He has done it. And what Anthony is trying to say here is this Bitcoin, strategic Bitcoin reserve is going to come. And when it does, it really opens up the doors to not just the US buying a hell of a lot more Bitcoin over a long period of time, but you would expect that many of the biggest countries around the world will do the same. So it just is an unlimited amount of money coming into the Bitcoin space. And of course, you'd expect much of that will flow out into the altcoin section too. On top of this, we've got Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong predicts Bitcoin will get into the multiple millions price range. He also said that Bitcoin will hit multiple $1 million per coin. President Trump is excited about establishing a Bitcoin strategic reserve. This is coming following his meeting with President Trump. So again, hugely positive news. And finally, here's a graph. This is just it's a graph showing Bitcoin in the last number of cycles. And each one started at the bottom of the cycle, so that's your bottom left, and then its percentage increase over that period of time. And you can see here in the different times and the different runs. So the gold one is from 2011, the reddish one is from 11 to 15, the blue one is from 15 to 18, and the green one is from 18 to 22. And you can see here the black one is our current one. So even if it's to follow any one of those, there's still a significant amount of ground to cover yet from here. So there's plenty more upside based on this and so much more. Global liquidity is expected to start rising soon. Bitcoin tends to follow that in about 12 weeks behind. There has been a pullback, as we showed you last week, over the last 12 weeks in that money supply. So based on that, it could be that there could be an expected pullback in Bitcoin, but then with the money supply increasing from here on out, as would be expected, then you would expect following that pullback, Bitcoin can trundle on really strongly from here. Of course, there's no guarantees that it'll follow into money supply down or back up again, but it's just another thing to keep an eye out for. Most people are extremely bullish right now. If you look at the charts here, you can see Bitcoin now is forming this sideways rectangle. It moved up into that rectangle, which is usually seen to be a really bullish sign, and so many would believe now that it'll take off from here. There could, of course, be pullbacks along the way, or there could be a very significant pullback if the macroeconomics, much of which is negative, I believe. Stock market is massively overextended. There could be a strong pullback from here, but again, no one knows for sure what's going to happen next, but it's a case of keeping a close eye on it. But if you're buying into cryptocurrency with a long-term frame, the vast majority of people believe that whatever value it is now, it'll be worth significantly more in the next 12 months, 24 months and beyond. What happens in between is anybody's guess. With that, keep an eye out on what we're going to do in WoW. Some big calls coming up over the next couple of weeks, both on projects that you're going to want to keep an eye out for, but also on what WoW is doing itself to grow its own community. So watch this space. Hopefully you found that useful, and we'll see you all on the next one.